Another nice day. Another nice day. I couldn't even go to the gym today. I was gonna go to the gym, but I was busy ordering some things. It's like, man, time flies fast, man. It's like usually my gym time is from like at the latest noon to like 3. Then after that, I'm occupied. I got family things to do. So if I can do it before that, even better. Anyways, I guess I wanted to talk about Benavidez, David Benavidez, el monstruo mexicano that they call, right? Um, um, he had some pretty cool notes. He had some cool notes regarding Canelo and Crawford, and I think a lot of his aftermath notes has to do with new pay grades. New pay grades, new pay grade opportunities, and what's expected from him, perhaps from Turkey and the PBC. Because it's actually very interesting. If you guys notice David's energy ever since the Canelo Crawford aftermath, as far as the actual style and the empiricals of the fight itself, the only thing we really hear from David is general output, which makes sense because I agree with David actually. David pretty much said that he didn't take the Crawford fight seriously. Now just think about that for a second, guys. Does he mean that maybe what's he insinuating or what is he like exposing about Canelo Alvarez? Is he saying maybe that Canelo Alvarez in the last year or more hasn't really taken the sport seriously? That could include maybe not taking tougher challenges, right? We'll get to the Canelo versus Benavidez possibility later on. But the cool thing is that David's a realist. And so David also acknowledges the world of bigger pay grades. And now David's seeing it. And I knew this all a long time ago, man, because I've been saying that David, what needed to do was align himself with the Arabs. And lo and behold, it's now happening. It makes sense. I knew it would happen. Because when his handlers of the PBC world aren't really doing scheduling that's supposed to make stars like David Benavidez, obviously, man, a guy like David who's always talking is going to get frustrated. So you had to show something for David as far as like setting up fight schedules for the fans of Benavidez, fans of boxing in general. But it's very interesting right now because I like the triad, at the very least, a triad of Benavidez, Canelo, Crawford. Like, what's next from these guys? And let me say hello to some cats here. We got a Ekrem Bey. What up, though? What up? Um, I mean, what's next for David? Obviously, David's got his task with Anthony Yard. I'm excited for that fight. Probably today I have to finalize in getting the tickets. By the way, the tickets are pretty cheap. I got to jump on that, man. I got to see how I'm gonna do that. Um, and hopefully I can get a contact out there. Let me Jose, Don Jose. But as far as David's opinion on Canelo Crawford, man, like I'll say this, man. I did like a week and a half breakdown of Canelo Crawford, and I was always reserved my opinion because I mean I like transparency, and most boxing fans like transparency, and we're not going to make excuses, or there's no excuse, but from the get go, that Netflix commentary was already a battle. Not so much like what the commentary has control of, but more so the perspective from the fans that they're telling, to the public. We got Andre Ward, we got Mark Kriegel, Kellerman. So we know the game. Whatever they're gonna say during the broadcast is gonna affect or it's gonna influence how the fans are seeing the fight. Okay. And again, what we know about Canelo, what's cliche about Canelo, the cat likes to start off slow, man. Like, okay, I guess I don't know, man. I just in a situation like this, let a lesson be learned. You can't start off slow with a guy like Crawford, who's gonna take it more serious. That's the key word, serious. As David Benavidez was saying, that Canelo didn't take this fight too serious, and perhaps maybe that's what David was alluding to. Because again, David didn't give any specifics about the techniques in the fight, the plays within the fight. He just generalized about Canelo didn't take this fight seriously. So think about that, guys, for a second. Is David Benavidez giving a benefit of doubt or a pseudo excuse for Canelo Alvarez to say he wasn't he wasn't taking the fight serious? Think about that, guys, for a second. So, for example, for me, the round that hurt me the most, man, in the whole Canelo Crawford fight was round one. That round was hard to bear because we know Canelo starts off slow, but he didn't show up like at the second half of round one. And so obviously, I think the judge is like, nah, we ain't gonna give it to Canelo. If he's gonna be lazy and slow at the get go, why are we gonna give that round to him? Even though it should have been a Canelo round. So aside from round one and all the rounds, man, that round really kind of dictated how we were gonna judge the fight, man. So just think about that for a second because this coincides with what we're saying with Canelo Benavidez. I mean Canelo Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, the fight itself. Do I think Canelo has a good chance to beat Crawford in the rematch? Definitely, no no question. But can we get that fight? Now I'm hearing rumors, guys, that Canelo Crawford's going to happen in May. That's the rumor. It makes kind of sense, right? Canelo's getting surgery, he's going to get back. Not, I don't even think that's an excuse as far as like why he lost the fight, man. No, the fight was because Canelo, he didn't amp it up in the fight. He could have. He's just coasting it. I think maybe Paulie Malignaggi or Andre Ward. Somebody said once upon a time, like several weeks ago, that maybe the pay grade that he got like 150 million kind of like softened Canelo up and like not to care. And to be honest, as a fan of boxing, as a Canelo fan, even a Crawford fan, whatever, in a way that's not good because that means I'm acknowledging as a fan that the hunger is not there anymore. That it's mostly the money that's dictating the hunger. It's hard for me to say, right, guys? Because even us as even if you're not a boxing practitioner or a hardcore boxing fan, guys, man, 150 mil, that's nice, man. That's nice. I mean, who else is making 150 mil? Let me know. I guess the last guy was Mayweather, man. The Mayweather and Pac or the Mayweather McGregor, but I think Mayweather versus Pacquiao was the highest pay grade in boxing before Canelo Crawford, right? Because I think Mayweather got 200 mil, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, that's different, right? Because Mayweather back then was what, like what he was 39? It was 39, if I'm not mistaken, 39 or 40. I don't know, guys. But going back to what David is saying, like David, it seems like his hunger has kind of diminished from the Canelo fight, or maybe David's instincts, his his habits are that he knows David now needs to do harder fights, right? Because we got Surdo Ramirez, we got Jay Pataya. I mean, I'm not singling out Anthony Yard, but I mean, I got David beating him in the Anthony Yard fight. I got David beating Anthony Yard by stoppage late rounds. What else? And then we got Better Biev, who's no slouch, big dude, power puncher. Last thing to go is power. So maybe David is seeing that projection, and David's not too, I wouldn't say confident, but not optimistic about the pay grades in the future because everybody wants the Canelo fight. And maybe since David is now Riyadh season, maybe David knows that the Canelo and Crawford rematch is going to happen sometime in May, and he can't really disclose that out of respect for Turkey and the Riyadh season planning. So there's a lot of clues. And then what's up with Crawford? I see Crawford is like enjoying life as of late. It's nothing surprising, right? But it's ironic, guys, because maybe even Crawford in the rematch might not have the hunger to beat Canelo in the rematch because he already beat Canelo, and that might be more than enough, and he's going to get another big pay grade. So how about that? Like, let's say Canelo beats Crawford in the rematch by stoppage or complete UD. Some fans might be like, well, Crawford already beat Canelo, so he's got nothing more to prove. So you got that narrative. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see, man. But I mean, as far as David Benavidez, like, what's next for him? Again, I got him stopping Anthony Yard in the late rounds. If it's not like that, I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see. I think David's gonna probably be about the same weight as he was fighting when he fought Morrell, Vosdick, same weight, but probably fitting a little better, more acclimated. Maybe that's a maybe, guys. I don't know, but we can only expect a better David Benavidez in this fight against Anthony Yard. And shout out to Anthony Yard too, man, for the UK fans. Maybe the British fans need something new as well. You know, I want to root for the underdog in Anthony Yard. To be honest, hold on a second. Enjoying life, my guys. Enjoying life. Sorry for the sirens here, but I'll say this. I'm gonna say this, guys. Take some notes here. Take some notes. I probably was one of the rare few to say to the way to beat Canelo. And granted, given Crawford's power, with the snack program, his speed, if you're gonna beat Canelo, you gotta show up with points and you gotta attack the body, man. Al cuerpo as my philosophy, and he did that. He did that. So Anthony Yard, in this case, what if Anthony Yard just shows up and really dedicates to body punching, and Benavidez is not expecting that because, Yard's heavy set. He's bigger than the 168 guys. He's gonna dedicate more to body punching or brawls than David Morrell, that's for sure. Even more than Vosdick guys. Yo, wise up, guys. I think Anthony Yarde's going to show up more than what Vosdick brought or what David Morrell brought. He's got more dog in him, guys. So factor that in. For example, if you guys weren't really impressed with Benavidez' fight against Vosdick, Vosdick didn't turn it up in that fight. Who knows what the reason was for that fight? Whatever. Got smashed, just out of his prime, wasn't in the game. Anthony Yarde might exploit that, because Anthony Yarde was stopped by Kovalev. We know that. But guys, man, body punching is serious. I don't really know Benavidez' resistance. I think Benavidez has good resistance because the guy's body is so wide. It's very wide, man. So that gives him some sort of advantage, or I should say, benefit in this Yard fight. But if Yard's able to hurt Benavidez with body attacks, guys, it might be a split decision, or it might be worse. I mean, for some Benavidez fans, it might not be a performance that you guys like. Now that might be subjective, right? Because Benavidez might turn it up in the next fight after beating Anthony Yarde, even though the fight with Anthony Yarde wasn't that great, right? Because we do want Benavidez versus Beterbiev, or Benavidez versus Bivol. But guys, time goes fast, man, and Bivol and Beterbiev, they've got other plans. I'm calling it out now, guys. I want to see Beterbiev take Badu Jack's belt, guys. Just give me props, and I've been saying this more than 8 months easily, close to a year. But Beterbiev can go for the cruiserweight championship for the WBC. Everybody will welcome it. Let's not be haters, and let's not act stupid. Most fans would welcome a fight like that. I've got Beterbiev stopping Badu Jack, right? And so then Bivol or Benavidez, if they still want Beterbiev, they got to go see him up at Cruiser. And guess what? We got other sharks there like Opataya and Surla Ramirez. I'm happy. I've been saying it for about a year, guys. I'm happy because I said light heavyweight and cruiser is going to be the pool of fights that we're all going to be looking at, man. Aside from Moses Atalma, who's one of the guys I like at heavyweight right now. I think he's got a bright future, very good southpaw. I like his style. He's got a lot of hunger. So expect good things from Moses Atalma. Speaking of heavyweight, real fast, I guess we could talk about Parker and no, but not Parker. Joe Joyce versus who's Joyce fighting, guys? Who the hell's Joyce fighting? Is it Joyce and Parker? Jesus, I forgot, man. I forgot. Yeah, it's Joyce versus Parker. It's gonna be interesting. I mean, I got Parker by decision of over Joyce. What am I talking about, Joyce? I'm talking about Fabio Wardley. I'm so sorry, guys. So sorry. That's the bira talking, the alcohol. But Fabio Wardley, good luck to him. Best of luck for him to try and dethrone a Parker's style. But I think Parker's pedigree, his power alone is going to be too much for Fabio Wardley. We'll see. But I'm picking Parker in this one. Parker's got another two good years to show up. So salute to Naime. To Naime. So so yeah, guys. I mean Benavidez, man. Benavidez got a lot of good options. What's next for Canelo after the surgery, guys? I'm calling it now, and I believe the rumors, but I think the rematch is going to happen in May. It makes sense, guys. It makes sense. Kind of like how Bivol had his surgery. Let me do a quick shout out here to Ozan. He says, Lan. What up, Lan? Lan Medion. This other guy named Göktuk Yonca. What up, though? What up? Good people. But yeah, man, we'll see. We'll see if Canelo fights Crawford in the rematch. Vice versa, if Crawford wants that rematch, Canelo has the power to authorize the rematch, right? If he can activate it, as they say. And then we'll see, man. We'll see what's everything. Right now, everything is kind of slow. I think we need a break, right? It's a nice winter break. And I guess that's all I have for this, man. But I guess a quick recap on what Benavidez was saying. You know, maybe Benavidez might still want the Canelo fight. It's all about the pay grades, guys. All about the pay grades. We still got the 2030, right? Saudi vision. If it's going to be big, then we might have some good stuff brewing. And we'll talk more about that in the future with more future videos. Anyways, I'm going to cut out, guys, for Al Cuerpo Boxing to the Body. And I'll catch you guys on the next one, man. Peace.